Well, now to the latest in the search for Jimmy Hoffa. You know, the FBI last week made a second search at the location in Jersey City, New Jersey, that we have been reporting about, where it was claimed the legendary labor leader was buried days after he disappeared from Detroit in 1975. But the Bureau says there was no sign of Hoffa's remains there. That site is under the Pulaski Skyway in Jersey City, right next to a former mob-connected dump, where the FBI was told back in 1975 that Hoffa's body was probably buried, taken there by New Jersey Genovese crime family mobsters suspected of killing him. Frank Coppola said his father, Paul Coppola, a local businessman who ran that dump with the Genovese family mobster, said Hoffa's body was delivered to his dad days after Hoffa vanished, buried in a metal drum 12 feet down, right next to the dump under the Pulaski Skyway. So you're saying your father buried Jimmy Hoffa?
Yes. My dad, later in years, he said that he couldn't fit in the drum head, body first, feet first. They had to turn him and put him in head first.
So your father said Hoffa couldn't fit in the drum?
Couldn't fit in the drum feet first. He couldn't get the legs to bend right. So he had to take him out and put him in head first.
And as part of our ongoing series, Riddle, the search for James R. Hoffa, streaming on Fox Nation, we conducted a ground-penetrating radar survey, you see there, of the site, and we found the potential evidence that could have corroborated Coppola. Metal barrels, just like he said, metal buried underground at that site where he said his father buried Hoffa. But the FBI's Detroit office that's in charge of the case revealed last week it searched the area again last month and found no evidence Hoffa is there. So, what is next in this investigation? Scott Burnstein joins us from Detroit. He's long covered the Hoffa case, runs Gangster Report at gangsterreport.com, and hosts the Original Gangster podcast. So, Scott, what did the FBI do? What did they do under the bridge last month to come up with this conclusion?
They conducted a 48-hour excavation based on the search warrant that they had secured back in October of 2021, and they came up empty. And as I've said for decades now, this is the case that never dies. It's evergreen, and I'm confident in saying that the conspirators, the people that pulled this off, most of whom, if not all of whom, are now deceased, are having quite the laugh in the graveyard.
Is it possible that the FBI may have missed this spot? I mean, the FBI, I wasn't there when the FBI was out there at the exact spot that we did our ground-penetrating radar. Dan Moldea, the Washington author who worked with us here at Fox News and on Fox Nation as a part of our investigation, our exclusive, Dan wasn't there. This all started because Frank's brother Paul was watching a Fox News segment with Dan and myself. He wanted his brother's story out. He contacted me, then contacted Dan. Dan went there with Frank. How do we know the FBI was at the right spot? Here, let me read you a viewer tweet. A viewer tweeted us saying this, quote, "Maybe they did not scan where you did in 2019. Someone has to go out there and see if they dug where you scanned. What you found is gone. If not, they got it wrong and need to go dig there." Our producer, Rob Monaco's taking care of that. What's the possibility that, they may have missed it?
Slim to none. Are we questioning the FBI's competency here? They had a search warrant. They abided by the regulations of that search warrant signed by a federal judge. They were there for 2 days. They weren't there for 2 minutes. They did their due diligence, and they came out with a nothing burger. So we just kind of have to accept that and move on.
I really want to thank the FBI and the agents in that bureau, especially in Detroit. They have pursued every credible lead after all these decades in the search for justice and the search for truth and for the Hoffa family.
I guess people questioning whether they dug in the right place or speculating on social media about him still being there, you're really not giving the FBI enough credit here. I mean, this is an organization that has spent tens of millions of dollars over a half century. There's nobody more invested in putting this thing to bed than the FBI. They've been embarrassed for 47 years, and they want all the loose ends tied up. So the idea they would not exhaust every remedy available to them to do that is is an incorrect, inaccurate posture. And I have faith that the FBI did what they were supposed to do, and there was nothing there. And the case now points back to Detroit, which is where, frankly, it should have never left.
What do you think happened?
Most likely he was incinerated, and there's no body, and we've been running around for 50 years looking for something that doesn't exist.
So your sense is that the mobsters in Detroit took care of it themselves, and he was incinerated in the Central State Sanitation facility, probably?
At that time had access to at least 4 crematoriums or incinerators. Central Sanitation is one place that has been pointed to because Central Sanitation burned down shortly after Hoffa went missing, before the FBI could get a search warrant. But this belief that he was taken in New Jersey is just giving way too much credit to Tony Provenzano, who was the Genovese, New Jersey capo that has been implicated in this conspiracy, who was merely just a pawn on a chessboard to be played. He was the puppet, not the puppeteer. And the idea that he wanted some type of trophy sent to him or some type of bargaining chip, he would have never had the authority to request that. And the guys that were running the show in Detroit, the Giacalone brothers, Jack Tocco, Joe Zerilli, would have never entertained doing that. This is a family in Detroit that has a PhD in mafia murder. No member of this crime family has been indicted nor convicted of a homicide in almost 100 years. So, this is a group that knows what they're doing. That's why they were tasked with getting rid of Hoffa, and they did it to the best of their ability. And frankly, they didn't need any help. And this notion that's out there, whether it be coming from Netflix and Marty Scorsese or other narratives that the Detroit family needed help, with their own house cleaning, is offensive to the Detroit mob guys that did this.
Well, we will be going back to Detroit. Our Fox Nation series, Riddle, the search for James R. Hoffa continues. This should be solved. For the Hoffa family, we think of them, and for history. We will be continuing our series. All 5 episodes are on Fox Nation now. Scott Burnstein, thank you. Thank you for your great work in this. And we will be back in Detroit and back at that site. We're not giving up on any credible lead. Thank you.